First things first, a very happy HYYH anniversary to everyone that celebrates it, which should be everyone because it's HYYH. This video is going up on the anniversary as God intended. I say God intended because I sure as shit didn't intend for this to go up 2 weeks after April 15th. But here we are anyway, so enjoy. Hello everyone, my name is Rids. I am finally filming my fiscal year-end flip through. That's quite a mouthful. This is probably going to get uploaded, not probably, definitely going to get uploaded, not on April 15th, but you know, technically that's the day the collection is supposed to be paused, and then I film the flip through and then we move on from there. So bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye. I'm giving myself a week or so's grace period to be able to film and edit the video and go from there, because actually filing my taxes on or before April 15th was the priority. As much as that might surprise you. Or people that know me, I guess. But anyway, I think, have accumulated 11, 12, if we squint, 14 actually, binders in the year-end couple of months that I've had since my collection began. So there's quite a lot to go through. Let's get started. I have a few questions. Thank you, M and B, for saving me from rambling on and on and on, which I might still do anyway, but let me get started so that I can talk as we go along. I have done a teensy little bit of binder management, but it's nowhere near where I would have wished it was at this point of time in terms of like structure, not collection. But I'll fix that as I go along. I just have not had time. Life has been way too much and I wanted to get this film done out. To start with, we are going to be starting with the Korean album PCs. There's a couple binders for this and then go from there. You've probably seen most of these when I set it up, but I did a little bit of cleanup and I put a little cute sticker that I found when I went for Hobie's concert over there. I might move stuff around later, but this is what I was able to get to so far. And yeah, for anyone that's unfamiliar with my ordering structure, I do reverse age order if there's a group PC that goes at the top and then like the back of the card or some other filler at the bottom here. This is the part of my collection that's probably the most complete. Obviously you can see that there's spots left still that I will try to complete this year. For School Love Affair specifically, I'm not collecting both versions because it's pretty much the same thing. I'm doing alternate, so I'll have like arms in, arms out, arms in, arms out, and same thing here. So Jimin's needs to be arms in, Jin needs to be arms out, which is why it's a little harder to collect these in their like original form because a lot of people tore it in the middle. To each their own, but I am horrified every time I see that. But yes, so I do have questions today from We and M, my single letter name friends. I'll sort of talk through those as I go along. There's not too many, and I guess I'll talk about the collection itself as well. Obviously, see, I do need to fuse this page, which I have not quite done yet, but we'll get there. I love how this page looks together. It's really nice to be able to see the collection like put together and realize the vision I had when I first started collecting. So I'm quite happy about that. One of my favorite sets, obviously, HYYH. But yeah, I'm making slow and steady progress for this collection, and this is definitely at the top of my list of things that I want to complete this year. I'm going to say what M's questions were, and then I'll point out the PCs as we go along because I didn't like pull them, or like I didn't have a note of like which ones they were. Some of the questions she asked are fun or unusual PCs, props, odd settings, or outfits. Same vibe from different collections. I pulled a few PCs that you may or may not have seen from my other collections, non-BTS ones, and I'll point out when things look kind of similar. And then she asked about personal favorites versus fandom favorites and right or lie top 10. So as I go along, I will point it out, and then probably pull like my top 10 at the very end, or like pull PCs as I go along about like which ones are my top 10. Which, to be perfectly honest, this one probably would, like these two would make the top something. This one's quite cute. I do just enjoy this series as a whole, I think. And I wanted the signatures to be exposed, so I'm not double like putting PCs one behind the other. I don't know what it's called, but yes. If you have any questions about what individual PCs are, let me know and I will be happy to answer. I am putting together a list of my supplies that I use. It's been a work in progress. I have not completed it. Someone asked me that question a while ago on one of my videos, and I keep meaning to like update them, but I have not had a chance to do so. I think overall this is one of my favorite sets that I'm so happy I have completed, just because it goes together so well. I love this group PC. I mean, the Lenti, it's amazing. So love that. I personally find this set to be quite fun as well. I just really like their looks, especially Jin's PC, Jimin's. I really like their looks in this. I don't know if it's a fandom favorite, but it's definitely a favorite for me. The order here, I think I went through and explained last time. This is the fan chant order, just because I wanted to be able to center Yoongi in this one since he has a different background. So that's why there's a change in order there. Another one of my, like, Tier had just superior PCs. I love this set. Actually, all of these sets. This is the first PC I ever, I guess, traded for or bought. Outside of my, like, what I pulled from my albums. This is the first one that I think I actually bought on its own, and what started my collecting journey. Yeah, I am still missing a few PCs, as you can see, but that would be definitely something that I'd like to like focus on and finish this year if I can. This is a fandom favorite set. I like it. I don't know if I love it as much as everyone else does, just because the background isn't my favorite. Everything else is adorable. The blue is just kind of stark to me. So, but the poses are cute. The heart cheeks are adorable. Like, Yoongi looks amazing. So I get it. I think Answer is a challenging set for me, just because of the colors that they used as backgrounds, like reds and pinks. It's quite stark, which is not my style. Okay, first of the like different collections, same vibes. I kind of sort of mentioned this before, but these ones, I just think, you know, like even the collar looks similar, see? So you haven't seen my EXO collection yet, but I think these have very similar vibes for obvious reasons. Chinyeol's also doing a Hwaranghae, so there's obviously my 17 thing that goes on that I'll show you in a little bit, but I don't know if any of BTS ever Hwaranghae. But barring that, here's all my Hwaranghae pieces that I have. Obviously the leader of the club, and then his, I don't know, minions. Which is quite funny, seeing as Wonu and Chinyeol are slightly giants. But anyway, that's one similar vibes, I guess. Photocard. This and one of the merch box ones is also quite similar. I don't think I've shown that on my channel yet, but that you will see kind of soon, decently soon. There we go. I have to fuse this. I have not quite done so. Maybe it will stay in place. Yay! Yeah, I wish I had time to like do the fusing and prettying up a little bit more. It's not terrible, but I definitely had plans that I could not execute on quite yet. So more to come there. I guess this is a journey, not a destination or whatever they say. I did finally get him. I need to actually put him away, but so that will be going in quite soon. Hope I'm not going like too fast. I just figure you've seen these, so there you go. Is this? Yeah, this is an extra piece. Like I need to start a new page for this one. I kind of got confused, but I don't have any other PCs in that set, so I just put them there for now. That's it for the first binder. Let me grab the second album binder. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the second of my Korean album PC binders. We're starting off with Butter. I had really wished I could at least get Butter into the other binder, just because the front of it, where there's the album, like the, what is it, the card from Proof, it has individual albums listed and it's up until Butter. So I would have liked to be able to fit this in there, but that was not happening. So here we go. Let me answer a couple questions. Collection item doesn't have to be a PC that makes you happiest from the last year. Ooh, I feel like we got so much last year, I kind of lost track of like what what we got and what we didn't. But I think D-Day was a lot of fun, like the movie thing. So collecting stuff related to the movie benefits was especially a lot of fun. I got a few DVDs last year that I really enjoyed. Was it last year? I'm telling you, I started collecting and then I just threw myself into it so quickly. I can't remember what I had and what I didn't before last year. But getting all of the memories and musters was really high on my priority list. I think even before I started collecting PCs officially. So I feel like being able to complete that collection was, I don't know, was one of my like happiest days. Like, you know, the instant serotonin that gave me was amazing. I have enjoyed, oh my god, this is not, well, I guess it is last year because it's my fiscal year, but the Hope on the Stage bag for Hobie, like the little like brown bag that they had for Weavers merch, I have used that thing so much and it holds up so very well. I am amazed at that. I hope he really popped off with this merch in terms of like usability. Yeah, this was some of the cleanup I was frantically doing this morning to make the collection somewhat presentable. Because this and the triptychs were the ones that were driving me insane. So I had to do something before filming this. And it's not a perfect solution, but it is a solution. And I think for now it works. So there we go. What other collection items? I mean, obviously, like collecting the PCs and being able to make so much progress on it has been amazing. I feel like when I started off collecting, I didn't have necessarily like a goal in mind. Like I knew I wanted album PCs for my bias line and I wanted this and that, but I didn't like sit down and make a plan ever. But as I went through, you know, as I started my YouTube channel and as I started talking to more friends, and it just made collecting so much fun. Could I be cheesy and say like collecting friends through my collecting journey has been my favorite thing? That makes you guys sound like things, which is not what I'm going for. But you know, it's just, I've formed some like amazing friendships as a result of me collecting. And even if one day I lose my love for collection, which, you know, dangerously close to happening just because of the burnout everyone's getting from how many drops has had recently. Even if that were to happen, I have gained some like amazing lifelong friends through this, and maybe too early in the video to be talking about this, but that may be the best thing about collecting, or like whatever has made me happiest in the last year. Let me grab the next binder. Okay, next up we have Japanese album PCs, and then like Japan related PCs, a couple of them at the end. Next question from we is, any broad or specific goals for the upcoming year? Definitely want to make progress on the album PCs. Korea is very close to being complete, so I want to focus on that. Japan is not that close to being complete, but I feel like there's definitely sets that are close to completion, like this one, for example, maybe this one. But there's just a few sets where I think I need like one or two more PCs that I'd like to like complete collecting this year if possible. But keeping in mind that these are also slightly pricier, so I will not do so if the cost is ridiculous. This set again, like I only have one PC, so unlikely that it'll be done this year. But this one, maybe. So stuff like that. I want to prioritize finishing like sets that I'm close to finishing for OT7. And then Korean album PCs, I definitely want to. I would like to stay current with collecting in terms of like get the things as they drop. But I want to be a little more discriminate in what I'm collecting. I don't need everything that drops all the time for every member. I was having this conversation actually with Eddy and we recently, and I think there was a certain joy to me like back collecting D-Day and Jack in the Box and a couple of the other like solo chapter stuff that I back collected, because I only started collecting when Golden dropped, like really started collecting, and then I only started like back collecting, I think I want to say December 2023, January 2024, like around that time is when I started truly back collecting. And I liked the fact that for D-Day and Jack in the Box I collected exactly what I wanted. Like I looked at all the PCs, I didn't want to collect anything that looked too similar. I wanted to do like one in each outfit, and I think I still kind of follow that for my back collection. Like I don't tend to go for different like pops and stuff that maybe have the same outfits, but I want to be a little more like going forward, because I was back collecting, I was like, oh, let me just get everything for anything current and going forward, and then I'll see if I want to keep it or not. The reality of it is I never get rid of stuff that I actually get, even if it's a duplicate. Like I just haven't had the patience to like post it for sale and sell it and ship it and all of that, which I should probably fix. But I know myself enough to know that if I get something, I'm not getting rid of it unless it's a dupe. Maybe not, even if it's a dupe, you know. So I need to be more cognizant of what I'm buying when I'm buying it, instead of having all these like grand plans about, you know, getting rid of them later. So I think that's my like biggest collection goal in terms of like particular items. There's obviously, like I said, Korean album, Japanese where I can, to finish like collecting like any set that's close to completion. I definitely want to collect for Japan and anywhere else actually, and maybe get either Jungkook or Yoongi's 2017 Memories Blu-ray and Jungkook's 2019 Memory Blu-ray, the photo that he took at Lotte World, because those have been at the top of my list forever, and I want to get those this year if I could. Because one of the questions was, how many dollars have you put into your HYYH fund this past year? Be so for real. It's got to be close to the cost of Suga's PC by now. So the joke is, if you don't know if I didn't mention it before, is I am HYYH trash. Like, oh, look at the timing of this. It's my favorite era for BTS. It's the thing that I talk about the most. I am quite annoying about it, in fact, in our group chat. And Eddy, I think, started this, where she said, every time you say HYYH, you have to put $1 in your savings account. And at one point, because I say it so much, it's going to be enough that you've accumulated enough dollars to buy 2017 Blu-ray like Jungkook or Yoongi. And I didn't do it every time I said it, but I occasionally drop like 10 bucks into it, just pay for the future, you know, because I will say it. I know I will say it. So I think I'm around like 350 or 360 or something. So I'm pretty sure I could afford one of the, well, if I find it for that price, one of the 2017 memory Blu-rays. So we shall see. Maybe I will get it this year. Let me grab the next binder. Okay, so this is the tour, mini tour binder. There's 2 of these. To start with, I put any larger sized collectible stuff for memories and like anything DVD adjacent, DVD related in these binders as well. So starting off with memories, some of the inclusions from that. I do need some filler or something here. That's the prettying up that I wanted to do a little bit more of and I couldn't, but I will get there eventually. And then we go into OT7 mini tour, I guess. This is quite an ambitious thing for me to do, but you know, we have time. Maybe not all of the money, but we have some money that goes into this, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, next question from B. Let's hypothesize. This is the year of OT7. Will our clownery be less or more than last year given this fact? I find it hilarious, the timing of this question, given that every one of the members seems to be intent on doing solo tours. Where did Jin's announcement come from? I was having the most hectic week imaginable. Like, so many things are happening in my like personal life, work life, and I saw that announcement and literally went, not now, Jin, and just ignored it for like 6 hours until I could process it. So, like, Hobie's still on tour, for God's sake. Where do you think money comes from? I wish I had a tree that it grew on, but I'm very happy. I feel like I'm complaining, but like I'm happy about the fact that they all have the discography, talent, and energy and desire to do like solo tours. We're very lucky to have that. I just feel very like I enjoy being at concerts. I hate the process of getting to a concert, the planning, the cost, everything around it, ticketing. Good Lord, Ticketmaster I have to deal with again, and you know, it's a lot. So anyway, what was the question? before we go back to it, this is one of my favorite sets. To your question, like, favorite prop is always going to be flowers. Anything with flowers is immediately the best thing ever. So I really enjoyed this. Love Jungkook's expression here. Everyone looks adorable, and the flowers make it that much better. I love this PC. Like this one, these sets are just, I think this is my favorite mini tour set probably for everyone. Yeah, I was like, is there anything else that I love as much? I think this would be my favorite. I feel safe saying that. There might be PCs like here and there that I like a lot, but as a set, these sets for every member are the best. I do find it quite annoying that I think only 3 of them have the horizontal PC, because that's my favorite out of all of them. And then they stop. Like, where is my Namjoon one? Where is my Hobie one? You know, like, be consistent, please. I guess at least it's like Maknaelan and Hyungline in terms of the split. So maybe I'll give them that. Annoyingly missing one PC for me to like finish this set. Like stuff like this I want to prioritize for collection. Okay, going back to V's question. Will our calendar be less or more than last year given the fact that they're back as OT7? Well, more, as I was saying, because everyone seems intent on doing solo stuff. I don't even know what to expect from like a group thing. I don't think they're going to do anything as a whole group. Like maybe like a live here, a little like clip here and there, but I feel like it's gonna be a little bit before they have like official content. They're gonna have to come back. They're going to like get back into the zone. We have to remember that it's been like, what, 3.5 years since they've done like group content together. Imagine you went back to your job after 3.5 years. Like how many emails would you have to catch up on, and how much like adjusting you'd have to do. I think they need a little time after they come back. I could totally be wrong. They could get kidnapped from like their discharge time and be taken on Bon Voyage or in the soup. I'm not sure, but I feel like they're gonna have like a little bit of a gap between them coming back and anything OT7 being released. This is also one of my favorite props. It is just so random, but I love it. Yeah, so our calendar is definitely going to be greater. I feel like once they're back, anything OT7 that drops, we are going to lose our minds and forget all our goals and, you know, the things that we have said and go ham. But maybe for the solo stuff, we'll find our balance a little bit more. So, or at least I'm hoping I would. So, to be seen. Ask me again next year how it went. Okay, next question. Besides PCs, give an update on other items you may have collected, DVDs, books, merch items. I don't know if you mean this as like K-pop collection stuff, but I will give you my answer regardless, I guess. For K-pop DVDs, yes, that has been my like collection focus for non-PC stuff this year. I want to own all the tours and other like DVD stuff that I can as a physical media. The single thing I hate the most about HYYH right now is the fact that they're making everything a digicode. I hate not owning my media. What happened to VLive is very likely to happen to any digital format. You don't really own that when you buy it as like a digicode or WAD, and I would have always preferred to have like physical, you know, DVDs and CDs. I know there's like environmental concerns that people quote, but be so for real. You are selling so many pops and so many extra like, you know, bells and whistles to be able to sell more albums. They're not doing this out of, you know, any environmental concerns. I think it's a way for them to have tighter control over content and do whatever they want with it. They could, you know, if you own a physical DVD, you own it. There's nothing they can do to alter the content of it. Whereas if you own a WAD or a digicode or whatever it might be, one day they want to take out a song for whatever reason or like add in something, they have control over that, and I hate that. So this question derailed. But yeah, so DVDs have been a really big collection goal this past year for all of my groups. I collect BTS, EXO, and 17. So for all of them, I've been trying to like get most of their tour DVDs. And I'm kind of close on almost all of them. I think I'm missing like a few here and there, but I'm pretty close. And then the rest of it I'll talk once I grab the next binder. This is the second of my mini tour binders, which is also actually quite concerningly thick. But continuing on with the question, I also got, I think I talked about it in one of my videos previously, but I've been really into Chinese, is it Xinxia or Wuxia? Novels, so cultivation, whatever. And I love MXTX's work, so I've gotten all of the published like books recently. I've gotten a little bit merch related to that, so that I've really enjoyed collecting. I have gotten a few other books over the past year that I also really enjoy. What else? I don't know, I feel like in terms of collecting, those are my like primary drivers right now. I collect jewelry, if that counts. Like I enjoy earrings and chains and rings, and so those would be some things that I've collected. I love, like, this is one of my favorite sets. I just adore how cute everyone looks. Yeah, so I guess that in terms of merch items, I've mentioned Hobie's bag, just truly the best thing to ever exist. Did I buy anything else? I mean, I bought a lot. Is there anything else that I want to call out specifically? I can't think of anything else, so maybe that's it. Which is concerning. I should think about what I'm buying if I cannot name things that I like love collecting. I mean, okay, I've had like, I don't know, like I have like Jungkook's lamp and Jimin's like Smeralda flower globe thingy, like stuff like that I really enjoy, but it's not like there's no ongoing thing to it, so there's no update to be given on those ones. But yeah, I guess those would be my collection things. Chinese novels, translated novels, and K-pop concerts, if those count. I've been to a couple since last year. I went to 17, I went to see Taemin, I saw Hobie, so those have been really fun. I think I want to definitely do more of those. Not a challenge, universe, not a challenge. You can take your time. I don't need everything to be in the same year, but these are good experiences that I want to continue having. Okay, next question. I feel like I kind of I've been answering this question, but any broad or specific goals for the upcoming year? You didn't mention like specify collection goals. I don't know if you meant to do that or not, but now that I have everyone put away for these sets, I might shuffle them and make them OT7 sets. We will see. Goals for collecting, I've sort of mentioned my priorities for collection. I definitely want to go to any concerts that I can, at least in the US. If EXO ever goes on tour, I will go to Asia because I don't think they're ever gonna come here, but that's a whole mess right now, so I don't want to focus on it. I think I want to focus a little bit more, like just personally, not collection-wise. I want to focus a little bit more on doing creative things. I want to paint, maybe learn embroidery, learn piano, you know, stuff like that. I want to focus on a little bit more. I feel like if things get tough or things are hectic, those are one of the first things that we tend to cut. And they're also the things that make my life worth living a lot of the times, and I need to be cognizant of that fact. Like, work is, you know, work, and everything else is like, it'll always be there, but it's not, there's very little about what I do daily like that adds to my happiness, I want to say, which sounds weird. Like, I don't hate every day, but you know, it's a routine. Like, you work because you have to work, you eat because you have to eat, and stuff like that. And I want to make sure that I am carving out time for experiences that are things that I want to do and I enjoy doing, and that give me joy, that trigger like different parts of my brain than what work might. Because I have a desk job basically, and I'm in a lot of meetings every day, and that's just a very different kind of energy than what I thrive on, I feel like. So I just have to spend more time doing more artsy stuff that I enjoy doing. I also want to focus on my health if I'm going to be going to concerts and, you know, mic dropping all over the place, I need to be able to have the stamina to do so. So I've started doing my like 10K steps again, which has been good. I feel like it's an easier habit for me to form because I enjoy walking, and it's low impact, so even a couch potato like me could get started on doing that. So that's definitely a goal for this year. That's it. I mean, one of the other things that I was thinking of is that I want to be a little more organized in my life, but I was talking to a friend recently and I was complaining about the fact that, like I keep going out with my friends on the weekends and I don't have time to like clean my house, or I don't have time to do this and that. And she's like, I would rather you experience life than organize it. And I was like, wow, stop dropping like, quotes like that. But it's true. Like I think I'm not trying necessarily, but I'm cognizant of the fact that I enjoy having spontaneous experiences, like, just going out. I have friends that I could go out on the weekend for lunch and coffee and stuff, and I have people that want to meet me that I want to meet and spend time with, and that's a good thing. That's a lucky thing to be able to have. So I don't want to focus so much on like the logistical stuff that I'm not getting done and stop experiencing that part of my life. So definitely need to find a balance there, but I want to continue doing the things that make me happy, I guess. That's a very, maybe not the kind of answer you were looking for, but I'm in a weird mood today, but I needed to get this film today or it would not happen for another 2 weeks, so you're just going to get this side of me. Okay, next up we have Misc Binder. Yeah, these have been one of the sets that have been hardest to find in terms of like cost. They're so expensive. But there we go. Okay, next question. If you had to pick any one favorite collection piece for each member within the last year or so, what would it be? Could be just from chapter 2 broadly, if that's easier. I don't think I could do within the last year, just because I feel like I don't know when stuff dropped and when I collected stuff. So I feel like I wouldn't know if it's within the last year or not. For chapter 2, okay, Jimin's, it's the Smeraldo flower globe thing. I don't know what it's called, but definitely that, because we were just talking about it. For Jungkook, it's probably the speaker nightlight thing. I use that every day, every night, I guess, and I just really enjoy it. So that is probably that, or the bracelet, the golden bracelet that he dropped. I am so sorry. For Jimin, yes, the glow Smeralda flower thing, yes, but this ring, I cannot leave my house without it. It has become, like, I only have one of these and I need to get a second like backup one, just because I'm afraid of what would happen if I ever lose it or something happened to it. I am addicted to this thing. I cannot leave my house without it. I feel naked if I ever go out without having this on. And he really he knew what people with ADHD needed to go about their lives, because this ring. Jungkook's, like the bracelet or the light, like I said. For Yoongi's, can I see the concert? I have seen that so many times. I don't know if that's a collection piece, if I'm skirting around the issue a little bit, but I feel like D-Day, like, concert has been my, like, comfort watch for so long. I recently had a concert watch, like virtual watch date with M, and it was a cheesecake date because, Seesaw Cheesecake, we both made or got cheesecakes and saw the concert together, which was really nice. I have also realized that is the only way I will not cry at Seesaw concert version, is to be eating a cheesecake during it. So for future reference for anyone watching, if you're ever seeing D-Day and Seesaw comes on, unless I have a cheesecake in my hand presently eating, I will start balling. So be aware. If not that, some of his like movie benefits, like the theater benefits that he had for D-Day have been really nice and fun. I really enjoyed collecting D-Day, so even though it kind of felt never ending, I would say maybe that. For Tay, probably anything with Yontan on it, like the PCs that I have with Yontan were my favorites for him from a collection perspective, and his tickets for Type 1. Jimin, we talked about. Hobie. I think for Hobie's, that like glasses PC that I got 4 of was great. Exactly what I needed in my life. I really enjoyed the documentary and again, this isn't like a collection piece. I don't know if it answers the question, but I really enjoyed being able to watch the documentary and his philosophy on like dance right now and everything. So that was really great. Collection item. Probably the HOTS PC. Okay. Namjoon. Oh, the JKFC UMS benefits for... I'll show them to you when I get to the solo binder, but probably those photo cards. And then for Jin, oh, what did I get for Jin? Because I didn't buy a lot of merch for him. Well, I did get the little like Butto and RJ plushie thing that they released, so that one I quite like. So maybe that. Did I cover everyone? I think so. I did it not in order, but I think I covered everyone. I will show you the solo stuff that I was talking about once I get to that binder. But that's it for Muster. I don't even think I introduced this binder, but it's the Muster Mini Tour binder. Let me grab the next one. Okay, this binder should probably be the most familiar given that you probably saw this 4 days ago if you watched the video. But this is my DVD PC binder. And yeah, there's some fan art in here which I really enjoy. I did finally get the Tay one. She's shipping it out now. But yes, so next question. Yeah, for collection goals, like I'd like to like finish sets like these. That's, yeah, we shall see. But maybe I funded him with my HYYH savings thing. We'll have to take a look at it and see if I could start looking for one. That would be wild. But that's exactly how insane I am. Anyway, next question. Now that you're a bit farther into your collecting journey, how do you feel like your collecting style or outlook changed within the last year? Where do you see yourself heading this upcoming year? I feel like I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but when I first started collecting, I said, you know what, it's Jungkook's first album, he's my bias, I'm going to collect everything there is to collect for Golden, and that's it. That's my like collection. And then maybe I'll collect like album PCs for the rest of their solo stuff. So that's where I started, and then this is where we are at. So a lot of change happened in terms of like what I want to collect versus what I don't. Part of it is, I think, the more people you meet in the community, the more you learn about like, you know, where to collect from and how much something should be priced at, etc. You get a little more knowledgeable, I want to say, about your own limits. And I feel like, fortunately or unfortunately for me, I thought that collecting OT7, at least for a back collection, is feasible for me. So that's definitely a change in terms of where I started and where I'm at, because I was only going to do like golden, and then I was only going to do my bias line, which was, if you never watched my initial videos, it was Jungkook, and then Hobie and Yoongi were my wreckers, because I thought they would look good on a 9-pocket page. But I enjoyed the idea of having OT7 sets, and then I started with like Korean album PCs, and then I saw some Japan ones, and I was like, oh, you know, there's enough here that I could probably collect OT7 for Japan, and then the DVD one. So it kind of evolved over time as and when I found like stuff for a decent price, and I guess now I'm more or less committed. In a way, I feel like I don't know how to phrase this, but in one way, because I want to collect OT7, I'm like, oh, there's so much for me to collect and so much I don't have. But also, because I changed my mind so much about what I was collecting and what I wasn't collecting, I also feel like that gave me the backup plan of like, well, tomorrow if I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to collect this anymore, or I don't really, you know, this isn't sparking joy or whatever, I could change my mind. Like, I'm not locked into like one thing. I am somewhat of a completionist, clearly, but I don't have everything from this era, for example, right? Like, I don't collect like larger inclusions, or I don't collect every PC to ever exist for every era. I pick and choose. Unfortunately, my pick and choose covers a lot of stuff, but I think I have, or I feel a little more confident in my ability to be like, okay, maybe that, maybe not that. I feel like I could discern that a little bit better now than I could back then, because I just didn't have any clue about what was even there to collect. So that's definitely a change in terms of my collecting goals. Like I mentioned, I want to finish as much of what I started as possible, and then going forward, I want to be a little more, I don't know, discriminate, like I said, in what I am collecting. And if I really truly need everything, or maybe I'll wait for previews to come up before collecting stuff, or maybe I will wait for like PCs to drop instead of buying X number of albums to collect like random items and stuff like that. Especially in the US, I feel like I don't want to purchase stuff from like Target and Walmart and, you know, all of that. So maybe my collecting is going to evolve and change as a result of that. Yeah, hopefully that answered the question. Let me bring the next binder. Okay, next up, this is the merch inclusions PCs binder. We're starting off with Butterfly Dream. I think for this, I would like to collect the group and Jungkook. I need to be a little more like, just from storage perspective, realistic about what I'm going to collect and whatnot. Also, they're expensive, so maybe I shouldn't collect OT7 for that. Jimin, Lonely Jimin. I did get this set, so hopefully he won't be lonely for much longer. So these I have arranged like, I don't know, like album related inclusions at the beginning, seasonal stuff. Here, Dalmajang I do consider to be a season. We have talked about this a little bit before. I'm not actually talking about the PCs much. I just feel like everyone knows everything at this point. If you, like I said, have any questions about what something is or where something is from, please ask me in the comments or DM me on Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to answer. I feel like you've seen these so much at this point that it would be probably annoying if we talked about it. I think I've run out of questions that we asked. Yeah. For M's questions, I feel like I haven't really focused on it. I really like this set because it's outdoors. I think in terms of like props or whatever, flowers and outdoors are usually my weakness. There is a Yoongi PC that's for her like odd question. One of my favorites. I love this, the way Yoongi stands. Is that odd enough for you? Glasses. are a favorite accessory or a prop, as everyone is aware. Wedding photo shoots are also quite fun. I enjoy these, but I hate the fact that the backs are not consistent. It's like, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to say because you might not be able to unsee it. It's like slightly jaundiced. The shading of it, like if you're gonna make it monochrome, like make it not this color, you know? But yeah, and then the, oh, I stopped talking somewhere around. So seasonal, and then, oh, this is still seasonal. Seasonal, and then like documentaries, shows, and stuff like that. And then this is purely like kind of books, just merch. I think this is the definition of like merch related PCs. Book again. I think this was the deco kit. So this binder is like other merch inclusions basically. Maybe the Christmas ones should go to the seasonal part of it. I will think about it. And then we have Hype Insight, I think, yeah. And that's what it ends with. Maybe I'll shuffle stuff around. I feel like the Christmas ones should go to the seasonal section just because of how I have it set up. So I will change that. And that's it for this binder. Flowers, another prop that I enjoy a lot. I got very excited when I first saw this because I thought this was a tiger lily and everyone posed with their birth flower, but they did not. So that was a missed opportunity. Let me come back with the next binder. Okay, so this next binder I don't think you've ever seen on the channel, but I do have lentis. I don't want to put these in the regular binder because they're thick, so I'm afraid they'll like press down on something. But also I don't have like a lot of them, it's just a few sets. So they are going to be in this smaller binder. And it's thick, like each page is so thick that the binder is full. But I had to get the lentis for wings. I think concept-wise, these are probably two of my like favorite concepts. So I had to get them. I love this one. And then I have the proof ones. These are kind of like, the looking up ones are kind of hard for me. They scare me a little bit, but I really like the hands one. So that's it for that one. Let me grab the next one. Okay, next up is the Photofolio Binder. This is probably the binder that has been with me the longest, so kudos to it. But we are going to be starting off with the chapter 2 stuff from here on. I think this was chapter 2, I want to say. But anyway, I did find the special postcards that they had, so the structure of this might shift around a little bit more. And then for this one, I am doing the order in which they join Big Hit, so it's not a familiar order to any of my other binders. And of course, an homage to the Naked Era beginning. We still don't know what this photo shoot was for, and I demand to know, because I can't keep up with this mystery any longer. I think this is also going to be a focus for me to complete just because I'm missing like 1 or 2 pieces for each of them. I have a few that I haven't put away, but it's not complete, so I want to complete collecting Photofolio. I don't know how to show these well. There we go. And then we have the postcards and the stamps. These might be one of my favorite like inclusions that they've done ever. I really enjoy those. I like a snapshot of what's in the photofolios. This is also one of my favorites. Oh, oops. There we go. Vampire Jungkook. I think this is one of the first like merch items I ever bought was the Photofolio. Well, no. The first merch item I ever bought was the speaker, the artist-made speaker. But I think the Photofolio was a close second. When did they drop these? Was it before or after BTD? Can't remember. If it was before, because artist made, well, whichever one dropped first was my first collection item, the Photofolio or the speaker. Okay, let me grab the solo chapter binder. Okay, here's the first of the two solo chapter binders so far. I have so many other ones that I have not put away yet, but these are the ones that you have seen. Starting off with the JPFC PCs for each of their first album drops, I guess. I wanted to do something special for the introduction page, and this is what we ended up with. Kind of want to make something for these as fillers, so we'll have to see. And then we go into Astronaut, which only has one page of PCs. Again, I was back collecting. I feel like there was some joy in being able to collect exactly what I wanted. So we'll have to see if I can do so again for other stuff. And then D-Day, again, this was fairly recent, so you probably remember this well. One of the hardest PCs to find for me, for sure, during back collecting, but there was a satisfaction when I found it, though. So good. Such a good PC. The miniature ones are also a favorite. This whole look is... he just did an amazing job. Well, whoever styled it did an amazing job. Oh, chef's kiss is so good. I think solo chapter by like this one will just be me making noises because I enjoy it so much. But this, I love my past self for this section of the binder flip through because I did a lot of the like fusing and the arranging and everything then, so I didn't have to worry about it for the binder flip through. Whereas for the other binders, I was like, oh, I'll do it later, and then later came and it never happened. So this I don't think is the Oakland PC. I have to find the Oakland one and then I'll swap it with that one. But I don't think they ever like officially mentioned where each of these are from, so I'll have to see. But yeah, in terms of like what's next for the channel, I'm talking like I have like an audience of 1 million or something. To the handful of you that watch it regularly or ever, I guess. I will continue to like upload. I am trying to see if I want to do like, I want to continue doing like this like themed thing where I upload on like specific dates, like album release dates or birthdays and stuff like that. Or if I want to be a little more generic, like do, you know, one update every month and get through like anything that I might have gotten that month, or do it like every couple of weeks and have like smaller stuff. So it might end up being like a combination of the two, like anything like large I might do like special occasions, and then where I am putting away like, you know, for a set that I already have, it might end up being those like regular uploads depending on my schedule and everything. So we'll have to see. My summer is starting to look quite busy. I will have some family visiting. I will probably be traveling for some of it. So I don't quite know when I'll be uploading yet. I might have some videos for my other groups first, since I've tried to catch up a bit for the BTS stuff, but I don't know. I'm still thinking that through. Let me know if you have any preference either way. But yeah, I definitely want, in terms of like not just like buying stuff and back collecting whatever, I want to do more like creative stuff like this. Collages, I really enjoyed putting like Jack in the Box and D-Day together, and I want more of that. Let me grab the next binder. So that's probably what my focus is going to be for the next year for the channel. Okay, this is the second of the solo chapter binders. Here we go. Yeah, as I was saying, let me know if you have a preference on the type of content or the frequency of content that you'd like to see. One of my friends was saying that I should have uploaded the creating of the collages for this. I don't know that anyone actually wants to see that because it's chaotic and my brain like works in bursts, so who knows when that happens, but I did enjoy doing it, so I could consider filming and uploading it as like a time-lapse thing if anyone wants. But yeah, I have really enjoyed collecting over the past year and a half, let's just say year and a half. I made some really incredible friends because of it. I have been able to travel and meet people, and when I was at Hobie's concert, I met like, you know, people that I've only ever like messaged, or like some of the goms that I get stuff from, and it was so good to be able to have that thing in common that, you know, you kind of bond over. I mean, BTS is the common thing, but like I found these people because I was collecting, and that was, I don't know, fascinating to me. It made me really happy. Like Eddy and V, I would probably not have found if I didn't start collecting and watching like collecting content and stuff like that. So, or Denise or Grace, because I feel like that's kind of the reason I met them. So I don't know. It's just, it gave me a lot of joy in the past year that, like, not, if not directly, then adjacent to it. So I really enjoy collecting, and I hope it stays that way, and I hope HYYH stops bombarding us with stuff so I don't feel like I have to collect everything and then burn out, you know? Okay, similar vibes. One of my favorite PCs, but I finally have a Seungcheol and Kuma PC, and I think I forgot that I also had this Chinyeol and Zara PC, so all of my groups covered. The fellow 95 liners and their love for their dogs. Very similar vibes. I truly enjoy this comparison. But yeah, so here we go. Again, fairly recent upload, so you probably remember this part of the binder very well. Yeah, I would love to know what you, like all of you watching, if you do collect, what you're thinking about collecting, and if you don't collect, like what your general goals are for the next year. I would love to make more friendships. I am not an extrovert by nature. I can hear my friends protesting. I am not, but I enjoy getting to know people when I can choose when to reply or not, like I can on DMs. So yeah, if you want to comment or send me a DM just to talk, I would love that. I almost forgot this binder. I can't believe I even talked about starting my collection with golden. But anyway, I did get this binder from a go. I shifted my Jungkook collection over to this binder, and yeah, let me show you what's in here. I did update it a little bit. There were a few more PCs that I got after the fact that I haven't had a chance to like actually update here, so I will just show you what I think was in the original binder setup video. But I find this binder very cute. It says, well, it says don't call me cute, so my bad, but you know. And it did come with these dividers. There is no way in hell everything golden will fit in here, so I'm thinking just like the initial drop album related stuff, and then everything else will go in the bigger binders. But some of the changes that I made are, I switched over to the 3-pocket setup, and then I tried to include one PC for each of the postcards that reflects the same theme, and then the back of the PC on the back, basically, if that made sense. This, I think, is a fan-made PC. This was for the digital like the Weavers album, like digital PC. Someone made PCs that fan made PCs that I got, because there was no PC with this look, which is quite annoying, because there were a million of the white ones. I can't believe I'm complaining about a white shirt, but you know, there are limits to everything. But yeah, the rest I think is official. I think this is the Weavers US PC. So I shuffled stuff around a little bit to match the theme of the postcards, basically. There we go. And then this is the Weavers postcard, I want to say. I do need to tape these so they don't move around. And then the Lucky Draws, still a favorite PC. I have 2 sets of these because I find them so cute. And then I tried to group them thematically instead of by like where they are from. There we go. This is the start of it all. Kind of, it's a throwback to be able to go through this binder. There are so many good ones. That one's great. I really like this one. The reason I remembered that I forgot this binder is I was trying to pull like 10 PCs that for like my Ride Art i10, and I was like, oh, let me go look at Golden. I was like, oh crap, I forgot to film that binder. So many Newt Newts. We were truly blessed in this era. And then I think this was the other of those digital PCs that I was talking about. So this is not official. I should mark them in some way. And then yeah, these are all fan made. These are official, but these are all fan made. There's nothing I cannot presently afford. I don't know if in the future I could justify getting these PCs, like official PCs, but we'll see. I think this one I am getting, but the rest are like line music and raffles and stuff, so and broadcast. They are pricey. But anyway, that's it for that binder. Let me grab the final binder, which is not an official thing, but just something fun I put together. And then we will conclude this video. Okay, my final binder, something I did like a couple nights ago because I didn't want to do anything actually productive, is the Cupsleeve Binder. I have collected a lot of cup sleeves, either by going to the Cupsleeve when it was there, or later on I just bought them at like events and stuff, and I had a lot of them, so I thought, why not put them away in a pleasing manner. Words are hard right now, but here we go. So this is from, like, I got it in Texas. It's from an old cup sleeve. I didn't go to this one. This one Grace hosted for Festa last year. This one was my local K-pop store for Yoongi's birthday. I just bought this one. These were Nam Cookman. There we go. For their birthdays. This was from Grace, and this was from the other community, army community here that they hosted. And then these cup sleeves are for, I want to say Jin and Hobie's like discharge, and then, or like Jin's birthday, Hobie discharge, Tae's birthday, and then Jimin's birthday. And a cute little tiny cup sleeve. I also have a tiny cup sleeve of the Festa one for Grace. It's on my fridge, so it did not go into my binder. And then the rest at least of the BTS ones, I think I just bought. There's a lot of like solo era stuff, which I really enjoy. And then these are Hobie's like concert cup sleeves. I think this was a freebie. And then I have some 17 cup sleeves. This was this one I got when I went to the concert. There was a cup sleeve, and the rest of them, except for one, I bought for like past cup sleeves. I went to a Mingyu one, and they had all of these old ones, and I was like, oh, give me some. This one I did go to last year as well. This is for Wizzy, Jonghan, and the 8. And then this is the Cupsleeve that I went to, the Mingyu one. These are hollow. I don't know if you can actually see, but very pretty. And then my personal favorite, there's a Boo Wicked one. So there we go. That's it for the binders. I will grab some PCs to answer M's like top 10 ride or die top 10 question, and any I might have forgotten for the same vibe from different collections one, and I'll be right back. Okay. For the similar vibes, different collections question, these are a few that I pulled. I don't know if everyone will agree, but these are my judgments. I feel like there's a different TPC that I don't have that will go well with this one, but I think they look similar. So obviously these two, self-explanatory with their very beloved pets. I love both of these PCs so much. Glasses, slightly, I might have to bleep this word, but bitchy vibes. Haranghe, which is surprising for him. Not so much him, he would haranghe in front of God. Bread cheeks, of course. Teeth, and school uniforms. I think somewhere in a state unnamed, V is falling to her knees because I'm making these comparisons right now. Emma asked this question, blame her, not me. Yeah, so some of these PCs you probably did not see yet. Hopefully you'll see them soon while I set up those binders, but yeah, I think that's a good number of similar vibes PCs. Now for M's question about top 10 ride or die. There we go. Those would be my top 10. I hope you enjoyed watching the flip through. I know it might not have been very organized or that different from what you had seen previously when I was setting it up, but I think the purpose of flip throughs is to see where my collection's at for myself as well as for you, and I hope it at least achieved that. I will try to fix my binders and my life. Going forward, maybe for next year's, I don't know, I might still do a fiscal year one because that's kind of a fun concept that I feel only I am doing, which is nice. I like being a little weird. If I'm doing it as a fiscal year one, maybe next year I'll have the binders a little more organized. But for now, I hope you enjoyed what I filmed. I hope my answers made sense. And yeah, I hope it wasn't too chaotic. And I will see you all soon. I don't know when and I don't know with what update, but thank you so much for subscribing and sticking around for the year if you did, and watching and commenting and engaging so that I feel like there is an audience that I want to continue posting for. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Every time I say that, I feel so silly. But anyway, you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. Just, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon. Thank you. Bye. I am having the hardest time narrowing down my bias line. For the rest of them, I feel like I had to make a decision. I figured a fair way to like split these up would be one per each member, and then my bias line gets an extra PC. The problem is, for my bias line, I have 2 PCs each that I am struggling to, well, 3 PCs each that I'm struggling to narrow it down from. So obviously, to no one's surprise, for Namjoon it would be that one. And then for Jin, it's actually this PC. I don't know what it is about this one, but I mean, there's a lot of his PCs that I really enjoy, but I think his beauty just comes across really, really well in this PC, and I enjoy that. He's not being too silly in this one, but it's not a serious one either. I just feel like that's my pick for my ride or die. Let's see, next up would be Yoongi, which is a struggle because I think I have about 4 for him. I have this one. I, of course, have to have this one. Why would you do this to me? This one, because who in their right mind wouldn't? And then a Beret Yoongi. Like, how am I supposed to pick between these 4? Oh. Okay, we'll come back to that. And then Hobie, J, Archie. Once again, how am I meant to pick? Like, why would you do this to me? And then for Jimin, we have this one. That's the only one. And then for Tae, it has Yeontan. I feel like I cannot make any other choice. So for Jungkook, obviously this one has to be in the contention. And then this one, let me get rid of this. It's one of my favorite golden PCs ever. And then this one. Why would you do this to me? Oh, okay, I can decide. I can do this. I can do this. So these two for him. Hobi. Oh. Okay, maybe Yoongi first. This has to stay. This was the first thing I picked. It has to stay. And it is my, like, I think my favorite of his. But that's cat, and he's a cat. But beret and ramen. This one, can I not have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 13, it's meant to be. That's how many members are in 17. I think I should get to keep 13. Don't you think? You can't answer me because you're not up right now and I can't message you. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Can I do this? I can't. I just cannot between these two. For Hobi, I feel like I should keep one of the cube ones. Also, love the fact that I don't have the PC that I collected 4 times. You know what? Okay. Just because out of these 3, I feel like this is the one that I would, if I stack ranked, it would be stack ranked less. Watch Grace and Denise be like, how is Yoongi not your bias? Again. I couldn't do it. I tried and I couldn't, so. But anyway, yeah, those are my ride or die top 10. I hope you're happy for putting me through this struggle.